What's up, guys? Pop My Pigs for Life here, and today we're back with another episode of Conservation Carnival in Planet Zoo. So, last time we left off, we added in 3 canid species, or well, 2 canid species, those being the timber wolf, who has since had babies. Oh, look at it. And we have also got the dingo, which has also had a baby, wherever it may be. I don't know exactly where it is. And then the other animal we added in was the maned wolf, though technically maned wolves aren't actually canids. So yeah, right in here. And they also had a baby. A baby? Let's check. Yeah, a single baby. And, not to mention, we also, definitely spruced up the park. Or, well, the zoo. Park, zoo, I don't know. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at is that we added in loads of foliage to, sort of liven things up a little bit. So right along here is like a little deserty strip of land. And then there's some temperate foliage over here. A little bit like you would see in Texas. I mean, I've never been to Texas, but, yeah. So, we added some forest here, and we added some forest right behind the train station. So, yeah. So, now, I'm very excited for this episode, because this episode, we're going to be working on the petting zoo. So, honestly, I have no idea exactly what I want to do for the petting zoo. All I know is that it's going to be right here. And I also know what animals are going to be in there. And trust me, we have quite a lot of animals to go in here. So one thing I did do off camera is I went on a shopping spree. So a lot of these animals I just had earlier, so like the elephants, the buffalo, the aardvarks. You know, let's pause this for the time being. We've got Aldabra Giant Tortoise, Asian small clawed otters, capybaras, Colombian white-faced captured monkeys. I still need to get a few more females. Common warthogs, common wombats, emus, European fallow deer, Fennec Fox, Galapagos tortoise, giant anteater, Indian peafowl, koalas, llamas, meerkats, red kangaroos, red-necked wallabies, springbok antelope, Thompson's gazelles, and that's about it. Oh yeah, I also forgot the aardvark is going to go in here too. So yeah, yeah, so like I said, I still need to buy a couple more, Colombian white-faced capuchins, Colombian white-faced capuchin, confirm. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye out for those, but yeah, so definitely in this video, we will get to do most of the animals, so, I think in this video, we should definitely hammer home, some of the exhibits with only like 1 or 2 animals. So, for example, we'll do the Aldabra Giant Tortoise, Asian Small Clawed Otter, what else? European Fallow Deer, Fennec Fox, Galapagos Giant Tortoise, and the Indian Peafowl. So, and of course, we have to build the zoo. So, honestly, thinking about it, we could probably have the Indian Peafowl just free roaming, because I know a lot of zoos do that, where the peafowl just wander about the zoo. I believe the Franklin Park Zoo does that, or at least they used to. I don't quite know about it like now, but yeah. So that's one thing we'll definitely do, and we're also going to be using a lot of these red barns. I need to get rid of the door, or at least move it out of the way, so that way the animals can get into the barn, because the idea is this is going to be their hard shelter. And also, I would like to reroute the train track a little bit, so that way it goes behind the property. So yeah, this is quite the daunting task. So, we better get started. And I think we're going to start with a nice, simple little time lapse. Basically, I'm just going to build up the petting zoo, and then once we're done, we can get into building adding the animals. Sorry. So, yeah, let's get right to it. Alright, so kicking things off by rerouting the train track. I wanted the train track to go, like, behind the property, like I mentioned, and this is going to branch out to other sections of the zoo, if you can even call it just one zoo. Basically, the vibe we're going is just several smaller zoos owned by, like, the same people, I guess. I don't know, but, yeah, I just want to apologize for the rather inconsistent upload schedule. This past week has been one heck of a week, to say the least. I've just been super busy, especially with, summer reading. I don't know if, you guys have had this, but, my school, I'm still currently in high school, my school makes us do summer reading in the summer. So, yeah, so comment down below if you guys also have to, or had to do summer reading in the summer, and also comment down below whether or not you liked it, because for me, honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of summer reading. Yeah, I'm honestly not really, like, a reader, and, like, I totally get it for, like, the younger kids where, like, they aren't really doing much over the summer, but, like, when you get into high school, like, you're getting your driver's license, you're looking at colleges, you're getting jobs, like, you've got a pretty busy schedule, so, yeah, like, yeah, that's just my opinion, but, if you have, like, your own opinion, feel free to voice it down in the comments down below. So, anyways, so basically the idea of this time-lapse is just getting a rough sketch of what I want to do for the petting zoo. So let me tell you, I was really excited to record this video, and I'm also super excited to record some of the other petting zoo videos, because one thing is that it's always been my dream to open my own zoo someday, and I recently thought to myself, or well, not recently, by recently I mean like a couple years ago, I just thought to myself, yeah, that's a pretty ambitious goal, so what about the next best option? A petting zoo. So, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but my grandparents have chickens. They also have, like, a couple geese, some ducks, and they also have a long history of keeping other animals, like quails, pheasants, guinea fowl, peafowl, even rabbits and goats. My grandfather was born and raised in Italy, and I've heard stories of him, like, raising cattle and pigs, and all sorts of other stuff. So, yeah, so I've basically, like, sort of lived around, like, animals because they live super close by to my house. But yeah, so, that's definitely something I want to do is, at the very least, I would like to own a petting zoo with all sorts of, like, domestic animals. And who knows, hopefully if I can, talk it over with the authorities of wherever I want to build it. Probably in the, like, New England area still, like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, maybe even Connecticut or Vermont, but somewhere close by to where I live, like, currently. So, yeah, so, because the thing with Massachusetts, where I live, is they have very strict exotic animal rules. So, my main goal is to be a little bit like the Urban Rescue Ranch and have, like, capybaras, wallabies, maybe even, like, an ostrich that people can feed, like, sort of like an ostrich farm. Also, my mom had a coworker who lives in Haverhill who, lives right across from this bison farm. So they have bison, which is really cool. So, I mean, obviously, if we have bison, people aren't going to be petting the bison. But you know what? Bison are cool. So, yeah, yeah, as many exotic animals as I am allowed to have. But yeah, definitely lots of those domestics, like ducks, geese, chickens, guinea fowl, peahens, peafowl, all sorts of other really cool stuff. And of course, here in Planet Zoo, we've got loads of animals where you can like walk through the enclosure, and like guests can like sort of pet the animals. I mean, I know they don't really pet the animals, but yeah, it's that like illusion, I guess. But yeah, so this time lapse is completely just experimenting with what I want to go where. So yeah, eventually I did end up having a good idea, and I also realized that I needed to fit in some toilets and some shops. Honestly, thinking about it, I probably could have done it on like the street area, but I mean, few food trucks here and there is like not that bad. Honestly, that might be what I do for the petting zoos. Like, have like some food trucks come in and like sell some food, I guess. Or I could just hire my grandmother, because she's a really good cook. I mean, we are Italians after all. Alright, but yeah, that's enough about me ranting about my life. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, once again, I do apologize for the delay in uploading. I really do appreciate those of you who have been patient and have been sticking around. I have lost a couple subscribers, which, I mean, I can't really be mad at them, but yeah, it is just a shame to lose a couple subscribers. So I definitely appreciate those of you who are definitely staying around. But yeah, last thing I am going to say before I stop talking is I am taking a lot of inspiration from the original Conservation Carnival, which I made years ago. But honestly, the big thing is I just originally made it so that way I can just use a bunch of animals and like not have them themed around a certain continent. So yeah, but basically what I'm about to do is I'm about to turn like one of the barns into like an area for like staff. So like I'm gonna stock it with a bunch of like staff buildings and what have you. So yeah, so that's really all I have to say for now. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the time lapse, and I'll see you at the end of the time lapse. Alrighty, so after over an hour of working on the petting zoo, this is the layout that we've got. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of what's going to go where. So we'll start over here. So this enclosure is going to be for the, or I don't know which one, but one of these two enclosures is going to be for the Aldabra Giant Tortoise. The other is going to be for the Fennec Fox. This will be for the Indian Peafowl. This is going to be the giant South America enclosure. So, it's going to be Colombian whiteface capuchin monkeys, capybaras, llamas, giant anteaters. I forgot we're also going to put Galapagos tortoises in here. And we're going to add in the brown-throated sloth. So that's going to go, right in here. So, what I'll most likely do is somewhere in here, I will put like a little area for the sloths and make it look like it is just part of the exhibit. This area is going to be for wombats and emus. This is going to be for wallabies, kangaroos, and koalas. Basically, the idea is for this enclosure, we're just going to lower the fence and have the path go along it. This is going to be for, this is going to be for Thompson's gazelles and warthogs. This will be for springbok, aardvarks, and meerkats. This will be for fallow deer. This will be for Asian small clawed otters. So then, right over here, along this area, is going to be some food courts, or food trucks, rather, for different, like shops. We got some restrooms throughout the area. Honestly, to make it a little bit more symmetrical, I might add in one on the other side to make it nice and symmetrical. Not bad. So, now, we have a little bit of time. We can move on to the animals. So, my plan is to do these 3 exhibits in this episode. So, the Fennec Fox, the Aldabra Giant Tortoise, and the Indian Peafowl. I know it's 2 returning animals, both from Augusta Zoo, and I completely forgot that Indian Peafowls were also in Samurai Sanctuary. And who knows, if we have time, which I don't think we're going to, but on the off chance that we do have a little extra time, I will maybe do Asian small clawed otters and fallow deer. But for now, we'll start with these 3 habitats. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so for animal facts, we're once again going to go in order of the animals being added. So starting with the Aldabra Giant Tortoise. So for starters, the Aldabra Giant Tortoise is the largest animal living in its natural habitat, that being the Aldabra Island Atoll. For those of you wondering, an atoll is, quote, a ring-shaped reef, island, or chain of islands formed by coral, as defined by Google. So, these guys can be found in several habitats throughout the atoll, including mangrove swamps, scrublands, and coastal sand dunes. This species of tortoise can sleep for up to 18 hours at a time, and when they sleep, they've been known to wallow in mud as a means of mosquito protection, almost like a natural bug repellent. Alright, so then after this, not quite yet, but we're going to be moving on to the Fennec Fox. So, to start, the Fennec Fox is the smallest canid species on Earth as of modern day. These guys only weigh in at around 2 to 3 pounds, and these little guys are known for living in the dry and inhospitable Sahara Desert of northern Africa. And they have several adaptations to do so. So, for example, these guys are mostly nocturnal, coming out during the night when it's much cooler. That's why many survival experts state that if you ever get stranded in the desert, you should use the heat of the day to rest up, and use the cool of the night to travel towards civilization. Granted that you're able to see in the dark. And so the Fennec Fox can also keep cool thanks in part to its large ears, which not only aid it when searching for food, but also help to radiate the sun's heat. So, working on the Fennec Fox now, as you can see, there are several, like paths going through the exhibits. Thinking about it, to make it a little bit more realistic, I probably should have put like an extra gate going into the Fennec Fox enclosure, you know, just to make it a little bit more realistic. But you know what, it's fine for the time being. Alright, so now moving on to the Indian Peafowl. So one fact about the Indian Peafowl is that they're actually a type of pheasant, and much like pheasants, they are often kept as pets, especially by exotic bird collectors. This is less of an animal fact, but my grandfather used to have pheasants and peafowl once upon a time, but that was long before I was born, and he had to get rid of it thanks to our rather nosy neighbor. But anyways, so I also believe that peafowl was often served in the Tudor banquet, especially under the reign of King Henry VIII of England. So one thing that I will definitely start doing more often is linking the sources to the various animal facts in the description. So starting now, the links to my sources are listed in the description. So currently just finishing up the Fennec Fox enclosure and moving on to the Indian Peafowl enclosure, which is once again going to be a walkthrough enclosure. Yeah, pretty much all the enclosures in this are going to be walkthrough enclosures. So yeah, honestly, the big thing that's a little bit painstaking is having to, do the terrain paint, especially on the edges, because you don't want it to, like, leak onto the outside, because then it just looks weird, I guess. So yeah, but yeah, eventually I was able to figure something out. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say for this bit of the time-lapse. Hope you guys enjoyed those animal facts, and I will see you at the end of the time-lapse. Alright guys, so this is what we got done so far. So, one thing I didn't get on camera is that I decided to, move the restaurant right over here. Thought it would be a good little spot for it. Try to make a little parking lot, but, didn't really work. So, these are the first three habitats we have in the petting zoo. So we've got the Aldabra Giant Tortoise. Here's some barking. Those might be from the Timberwolves. But there is also a chance that you can hear the Fennec Fox. Right here. Using the burrows. Decided to add a couple little hills into the enclosure, you know, to like make things a little bit more interesting. And the Indian Peafowl. So, we've got several Indian Peafowl in here. Yeah, these guys really make a good addition to, like, a petting zoo type build, because a lot of people have them, like I said in, the animal facts. And then let's just take one more look at the Aldabra Giant Tortoise. I realize I didn't really get too much of a look. a good look. Oh, but look at these guys. But yeah, I once again want to apologize for the wait of this video, like, that you guys have had to wait so long for any videos, really. And I really do appreciate those of you who have been patiently waiting. But yeah, so I am going to warn you guys. The summer is obviously coming to a close, so when school's back in session, I'm probably going to be able to upload. Oh no, hang on. Too much stuff is going on. Who got out? Ah, they do that sometimes. Okay, how are you able to get out? Hang on, guys, I need to fix this. Alright, that should hopefully do it. I just had to move this little structure and the hard shelter back a little bit away from the fence so that way they don't jump out. So, like I was saying, the summer is slowly starting to come to an end, and once I'm back in school, I won't be able to upload as much. I will try and upload one video every week, but also don't be surprised if it takes me, like, a good 2 or 3 weeks to upload. So, once again, I really do appreciate those of you who have been patient with my inconsistent uploading schedule, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy my content. So, with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. So, next episode, we're just gonna keep adding in animals. What I might do is I might, add in, like, one of these, like, single animal exhibits combined with either Africa or Australia. So I might do, like the European fallow deer in Africa next video, and then the Asian small-clawed otters and the Australia section the episode after that. And then the last episode we work on the petting zoo will be the giant South American enclosure, as well as planning out a little bit of this, like, city, I guess you could call it. It's more of like a town, like a little suburban town with, like, some houses and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, with that being said, that's going to wrap up today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If so, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see some more Minecraft, Planet Zoo, and Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.